I just got off a call with a new agent who is thinking about joining us at Real Broker. And I do calls often with new agents and with agents who are not new. And guys, here's the thing. I got a piece of advice for you today, a piece of advice that you are going to need to know about, and you're going to want to stay tuned until the very end. You're not going to want to miss anything today. And that is, if you are a new agent, or even if you're a seasoned agent, to be honest, no matter if you want to sell a large number of houses, or if you just have your real estate license and you're like, you know what, I want to sell 5 houses a year and have a little bit of fun money. No matter what your goal is, those are both fine goals. No matter what your goal is in your business, you need a plan. Because here's the thing. We get into real estate and we think, if I'm only going to be selling like 5 houses a year or even 10 houses, 12 houses, I don't really need a plan for that. However, none of this just happens, and you need a business plan just as much if you plan to only sell a smaller handful of houses versus if you want to go out and sell 50 houses a year or some larger number, if that makes sense. So what do I mean by plan? What do I even mean by that? Where do you even start? I'm glad you asked. So what I mean by that is twofold. The first thing is you need to decide how you're going to get business. How are you going to run your business? Because no matter if you want to sell an extra 5 houses a year or 50 or more or less, you need to have a way of getting business. That means prospecting and or marketing. I would say probably both if you're just starting out, to be honest. You need to have a method, because no matter what, business is never going to just come to you. Even if you're a seasoned agent, honestly, you still have to continue to lay pipeline, continue to market, and continue to prospect. Business does not just come. Even if your production goal is what we would consider small, business still is not going to come to you. There are truly a million ways to get business as a real estate agent. There really are, and they actually all work. I really do believe you could get business so many different ways. You just have to find what works for you and what you're willing to actually do on a consistent basis. So that's the first thing you need if you're a new agent. You need to know how you're going to get leads. And then the second thing you need to know is, when are you going to do it? You guys, this is really simplified, but this is your business plan. This is it. How are you going to get business? And then when are you going to do it? How and how often? You're going to get out a notebook, a piece of paper, or the notes in your phone, and you're going to write down what you're going to do to get business. For me, starting out, it was for sale by owners. Now it's video marketing on YouTube. What are you going to do? Pick one thing that you're going to go all in on and do that, and figure out how to do it really, really well, and just do a bunch of it and learn as you go. And the second thing you're going to do is you're going to write down on that same piece of paper or note in your phone, you're going to write down, when do you plan to do this? Because it's great to say you're going to host open houses, or you're going to host home buyer classes, or make reels on Facebook consistently, but when are you going to do it? You need to have it on the schedule, or it's not an actual business plan. Guys, these are the only 2 things you need to get started. If you do these 2 things, you will have consistent business. Pick how are you going to get business. Again, there's a million ways. They all work as long as you stick with them long enough and do them well enough. 2, figure out when are you going to do those activities. Put it in your schedule. I would really recommend putting your prospecting days in your schedule and sticking with them, and do that prospecting or marketing the same days every single week, no matter what. They don't waver. It doesn't matter if you wake up and you don't feel like it, you don't have energy. Well, drink a cup of coffee. You don't have time. Like, you cannot, we can't do that. In this business, you cannot live by your feelings. You cannot wake up and decide if you feel like doing video marketing, even though it was in your schedule to do it that day. You can't wake up and decide you don't like how your hair looks, so you're not going to go make a marketing video for your business. You can't wake up and decide that you're not in the mood to cold call, so you're not going to cold call. You have to do whatever it is that you put on your schedule, the action item to bring you business that you put on your schedule. You have to do that whether you feel like it or not. So how are you going to get business? Write it down, guys. How are you going to get business? When are you going to do it? Write it down consistently, put it in your schedule every week, even if it's only a 30-minute or hour time chunk once a week. Better than nothing. Put it in your schedule and stick with it. And then 3, you're going to stick with it, even when you don't feel like it. That's it. Those are the 3 things you need to do to have a successful real estate business. And if you do those 3 things, I can almost guarantee you that a year from now, you're going to call me and be like, Mariah, your video was right. What you said to do worked, because now I've got leads flowing in. In the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Gary Keller says, this is a lead generating business. And I think that's true for all businesses. Here's the thing. If you're new in real estate, you really need to change this in your mind. Stop thinking of yourself as a real estate agent. You're not just a real estate agent. Your number one job is not to sell houses, you guys. Your number one job is to go get business / generate leads. That's it. That's your job. If you're not generating leads on a consistent basis, then who cares how good you are at selling houses or how much you know about houses or whatever? It doesn't matter, because you're not going to be selling any of them. So flip that switch in your mind. You're not a real estate agent. You are a lead generator. That's it. That's your job. Cut everything else out. All those other stupid things your brokerage is telling you to do, because I know, because I'm on calls often with real estate agents that are not happy with their brokerages, that are wanting to switch to our brokerage, Real Broker, for so many different reasons. And I'm hearing over and over and over, you guys, from agents all over the country that their broker is telling them, their brokerage is telling them, this is the super long checklist of things you need to do as a new real estate agent. And they're telling me what these things are, and they are not dollar producing. They're wasting their time. But if you do those 3 things I just told you, you're not going to be wasting your time, and you're going to be dollar producing. Anyway, that is it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you grab value from today's video, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, let me know what market you guys are in. Let's pass referrals to each other and start a conversation in the comments section. Don't forget to head over to my channel. I have a handful of playlists I think you're going to grab value from, and I'll see you guys soon.